Hello, my name is Jenna Bosiger, and you're watching Cryptid's YouTube channel. On this episode, Cryptid Petroglyphs from the Rodman Wilderness. And if you like this topic and want to hear more like it, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the bell. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. On the way to the Rodman Wilderness, I was able to see Hercules Finger in the distance, and it's in a group of rocks that's all by itself. And so if you wanted to go see it, that would be a one-stop trip. And I'm sure there's a lot of really interesting rocks in the area that look like they're definitely worth investigating and photographing. But I was still happy to see it in the distance. And it's really sticks out quite a bit from the other rocks. As you can see in this picture, you can see how far away I was from it and how much it sticks out. And then I just saw this picture of rocks that I thought was interesting as well. So do you think it's possible that we can decode any of these petroglyphs? There were actually two of them that I thought maybe had some kind of a message in them that I want to go over. But in the meantime, I just want to show you all of the petroglyphs that I found that day. And many of them were of some strange cryptid creatures, like this one, for example. It has 8 legs altogether, which, you know, you think of a spider, but looking at it, it's like got more like antennas coming out of its head, and maybe 4 arms and 2 legs. So it's definitely a strange cryptid. And this one, at first I thought it was just natural formation in the rocks, but then I saw the animal head in it, and I'm pretty sure that that was intentional. This one you can't see very well because it must be really old, so I drew it in, and then you can go back. I reverted back to the original, and you can see it looks a lot like a UFO. And this one, I'm not sure what it represents. There's sort of like 3 circles at the top, and one could be a person's head maybe, or an animal's head. But why they have circles for hands, I'm not sure. And then I saw a handprint, and I'm putting these all in order that I saw them in. And I always count the fingers on handprints because I'm wondering if they're going to have 6 fingers, because that would represent the giants. And there's this human figure. When I looked up close, he kind of looked like he was angry. And these holes that have been carved into these rocks are so old. You can tell some of the petroglyphs look like they're kind of scratched in, and then these, they just look older. And if there are 2 different ages in which these petroglyphs have made over time, I'm going to say that these were some of the oldest right here. And I don't know if you can see at the top of this mountain of rocks is the ruler of those rocks currently, which is this beautiful iguana. And this is not a lizard, this is an iguana because it was huge. I think it's a female because she looks like she might be pregnant. There were a lot of caves, which led me to think that because there's so many petroglyphs, they spent so much time here, it's possible that they lived here in caves inside of these rocks. And there's some entrances still to this day, but I didn't really look too deep inside. But I'm sure, you know, at a different time, there could have been bigger caves. Or maybe the people were smaller. But now those entrances are probably closed up. And this, I'm not sure. Now, this is one of the petroglyph panels that I wanted to see if I could find any sense about it, because what you have, first of all, none of this panel was on like the front of a rock. It was all sort of on an underneath side. but you've got this panel with some squiggly things on top, but on the bottom right, you have a 5-fingered print, and that one is in the sun and out. But then in the shadow and in back of this rock, like I couldn't get my camera in there, and I could barely even get in close enough to get a picture of this 6-fingered print. And the 6-fingered print is tucked back underneath and behind this rock, almost maybe to represent underground. I don't know, but I don't think it's a mistake that one of the hands has 6 fingers and one has 5. And we pretty much know that the 6 fingers mean giants. And, you know, these were so old that they were probably made around the time of the giants. You can see another cave way up at the top. And then it's really kind of strange because the night before, I've been working on a Birdman video, and I have been looking at Birdman petroglyphs all night, the night before, and it was really hot, and I did come prepared for the heat, but I was so hot at this point, and I started seeing Birdman petroglyphs everywhere, and I honestly couldn't tell if they were really there, or if they were just natural, or if they were just drawing something completely different than that. But I did see these blue Birdman petroglyphs, but I'm not really sure even now to this day if I see them, or if I've just been looking at so many Birdman petroglyphs that I think I see them. Really tall, they sort of look like pterodactyls or pterosaurs, and throughout the day, I just kept seeing a lot of Birdman petroglyphs. And again, I'm not sure if they were really there or if I had just been looking at them for so long. And you know, like not all of these petroglyphs are on the fronts of rocks. Some of them are underneath rocks. And then all of a sudden you'll look and you'll see a big panel, you know, up really high. And like this one, I see a Birdman. I see the foot. It's got 4 fingers or 4 claws, and then a big wing stretched out. And I don't know if you're seeing Birdman too, but now this is the other panel that I was wondering if we could analyze it all, or maybe find a way to decode, because you see these, it almost looks like something's happening sequentially with these figures to the right in white. And they're sort of starting at the bottom and then going through some transformation, and one's trying to come out and then one's kind of flying off. But then down below and underneath and back to the corner is another petroglyph off by itself, which has like horns or pointed ears and looks a lot like a dogman, a female dogman. And what do you think of that? Could that also be representing some underground creature that walks on 2 legs and that doesn't have the same shaped head as us? Because this has pointed ears. And like I said, I saw another dogman petroglyph from this area and that I made a video about. You can check out. But what do you think about that? And then this is what I'm talking about. If there's birds or iguanas that are pooping down the side of these rocks, or maybe some really larger bird like pterodactyls, maybe a long time ago though, you know, I'm not saying now, but I mean, maybe that's what they were drawing back then. And then do you guys see a big Birdman here with the legs? I don't know, maybe not. And these here look really old, just really old shapes of circles and with squiggly lines or rays. And here again is that possible Birdman shape or representation. I just see these wings, like this wing stretched out. And I mean, I don't know if I really can't tell anymore at this point if I'm really seeing Birdman petroglyphs or not. Here's another big iguana. And this, like I said, was a very big iguana. And this is an interesting maze shape. This looks like a UFO. And this could represent the water rushing down at one time. And this is my favorite panel, one of the last ones that we saw. And this is a very strange, tall, cryptid bipedal creature with something sticking out of his belly there. And then this other one looking like a Birdman cryptid and having these claw feet and some sort of a tail, and then these shorter little legs, arms, I'm not sure. And then of course the pointed, a lot of these cryptids that are here have either pointed ears or antenna. So what's up with that? And I had promised my friend that we would investigate this hole that was, obviously some miners had used at some point. I walked around down at the bottom and found this stone circle, but this stone circle might have been used by the miners. And I saw a little tornado on my way out. Actually, it was pretty big. And then it was back to life, back to reality. Well, thank you for watching this video about the Rodman petroglyphs and the cryptid anthropomorphic shapes that they've made on these rocks, carved into these rocks. And if you'd like to see more, subscribe, like, and hit the bell. Thanks. Bye.